Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today will be a video on my first string job on my new Wilson Clash 100 square inch Tour tennis racket. I'll be using the Lexilon LXN Smart Tennis String. Apparently this string is recommended with this racket by Wilson. The number one factor I'm interested here is the arm friendly gauge, which is at a 10, and my wrist is giving me some pain. I have a history of tennis elbow, and this is why I'm exploring this combination of racket and string. Out of curiosity, I popped the butt cap to see what's inside, and apparently it's hollow, and this is okay because it gives me the option to fill it with silicone if I need some more dampening in the handle. Hopefully not, but it gives me the option to modify. And the stringing machine I'll be using today is the Torna 300 CS, and this is new to me, only 6 months old. It's a big upgrade from my Gamma 2 progression drop weight machine, and this is a professional level racket machine. Now I'm gonna tell you some tips and tricks that I picked up over the years, and just recently I picked up a lot of tips from a channel called Tennis Spin. He's been putting out some real good content. He gave some tips on how the Yonex stringing team wants them to string professional players' rackets at tournaments, and it's different from what I've learned, and I'll share with you some tips. But I'll leave a link to his channel, this way you can see the full video, which is worth watching, and he's got a lot of good content on there. And in this particular video, it's a little sloppy. I think my fingers were camera shy because it's the first time I've attempting to put on a stringing video on the internet, and I'm ready to face all the helpful comments and the criticism in the comment section. So feel free to post either or. Now, one of the tips that Yonex supposedly gave their stringers is to be very consistent, and that means everything from always putting your logos right side up. This way, every racket you put in your machine right side up. You do the same string job the next time you do it. You stay consistent. You mark your machine with a head side and a throat side of the tennis machine. Here I mark my machine with the red S, which is from Summit Racing. So that's the head side of my machine from now on, and that's how I'll place my rackets. Now, the reason why I'm trying this string combo and tennis racket is because I've developed some wrist pain over the last couple of weeks before the lockdown, and I haven't played for a month and a half during the lockdown, and I'm still feeling some soreness in my wrist under certain conditions, so that's got me a little worried. So I bit the bullet and I went for this racket, and I did my research, and Wilson recommends the Smart Lexilon string because they claim it has the same technology that Wilson put into the racket. So Wilson's recommending a string other than their Wilson strings. There may be something to it. And also, with this string, it recommends low tension. They recommend, I think, 42 to 48. I am stringing this racket at 42 on the mains and 40 on the crosses. I'm going for the lower side of the tension that's recommended for these strings, and I'm going to see how that feels because supposedly it complements the technology in the racket. May sound crazy, but I'll let you know how it goes in a follow-up video of when I get some hits in. So in order to catch that follow-up video, you should be clicking that subscribe button, and while you're there, just smash that like. Now I'm doing the tie-offs on my mains. I skipped the holes that needed skipping under the recommendations from Wilson, from the Wilson website. I'm cinching the knot 2 different ways today, trying different things. One cinch is when I pass 2 loops, and then the next cinch will be I cinch on the first loop and then I cinch on the second loop. Now I cinched the 2 main finishing knots 2 different ways. The first one I cinched when I already made the 2 loops, the 2 knots, and then the second one I cinched on the first knot, then I tied the second knot and cinched that one. The theory on cinching both knots together is that it helps keep tension better than cinching one knot and then the second knot. But leave your comments in the comments below and let me know how you do it. So when I got my Gamma drop weight machine, it came with some instructions and it showed you how to start the crosses with a starting knot. And I always felt it was kind of inconsistent. I was still learning. The knot was bulky. It was always a struggle to tie it. Felt like it came out different every time. I really didn't like it. But then my research, I found out alternative ways to start the crosses, and starting on the second hole using the starting clamp seems to be the preferred method for the good stringers, and that's the one I suggest you should learn. Again, this is not an instructional video, so if you want to learn how to start your courses like that, look up other video channels that teach you from start to finish how to string a racket. Another tip is on the crosses is under when you pull tension on the string on the crosses is to keep your string straight. You know, you help them along. When you pull tension, you make sure your string is straight. It helps keeps it neat, keeps the tension consistent. And another tip is string 2 ahead on the crosses. By weaving 2 ahead on the crosses, it's easier to weave. There's less tension on the string, so therefore the weave is less difficult and potentially quicker. Now I think there's 2 schools of thought here. I decided this time to do my finishing knot or the starting knot on the cross when I strung several crosses down. You could finish all the crosses and then tie off your head knot, and then tie off your tail knot, and then tie off your throat knot. So I just chose this time to tie off the head knot before I finished the full bed of crosses. Now the knot I'm tying here is the same knot that I tied on the rest of the racket, keeping things consistent. Just learning how to tie one knot instead of 2 different ones is easy, especially for newer stringers. This time I went for the 2-cinch style. Whether it's better or worse, let me know in the comments. Either way, the knots will hold. Now I'm pretty much done. I'll do some minor straightening of the strings. So I'm gonna take this out for a hit against a wall because tennis is still kind of banned in this area still. And I'm gonna get a feel for the racket and I'll give you an update. So like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.